Hello and welcome everyone to another online class. So today we will be taking another look on the gerunds and the infinitives in addition to linking words. So to start with, we're going to take the linking words, okay? So linking words or phrases are words and phrases that we use in writing or speaking to make the uh, speak or the talking or the written that things that we are writing flow better, okay, to make it sound better and to make relationship between sentences. So we have three types of linking words. The first one we have are since, as, and because, which are used to show the reason why something happens. I go to school because I want to be successful. I study hard since I want to be the first on my class. I didn't buy the new book because the store was closed. I say a sentence and give the reason behind doing that action or behind saying that sentence. I wasn't able to buy you the toy you wanted since I couldn't go out. So why didn't I buy you the toy that you wanted? Because I didn't go out, or since I didn't go out, or couldn't go out. I didn't practice today as I was too tired to do so. Why didn't I practice? Because I was too tired to practice. So the first group, which are since, as, because, are used to give reasons behind the things that we are saying or doing. The second group that we have here are also, as well, and, to, as well as. And this group is used to join different ideas that are related in some way, to put more than one idea together. Okay, so for example, we say, I didn't read that novel you gave me and wasn't able to read the one I had as well. Okay, so the idea is a little bit related, which is reading novels, while the difference is the first one is about the novel that someone gave me, and the second is about the novel that I already had. Okay, so I didn't read the novel you gave me and wasn't able to read the novel, the one I had as well. So as well joined between two things or ideas that are related to each other in some way. So we put as well at the end of the sentence. Well, the second sentence says playing football and basketball as well as volleyball is good for health. So here we gave examples for sports that are good for health. We say that playing football, the action of playing football, and the action of playing basketball, as well as volleyball, which is another sport. We added another sport to these two. So is good for health, and as well as comes uh, before the end when you want to give the last thing that is linked to the others. So you can't put as well as at the end of the sentence like how we did with as well. The third example is let's get one for Ahmed and for Ali too. So two here came at the end, and we have the linking word and. So and joined between Ahmed and Ali, and two uh, gave the idea of getting uh, something for Ali as well. Okay, so two comes at the end while and comes between the two things that you want to join together. Finally, we are going to the third group, which is like, such as, for example, for instance. Okay, these words and phrases are used to give examples. When you want to give example for what you are saying, we use one of these before giving the example. For example, we can say the same sentence that I have just said. For example, we can say, I have many housework to do, like, here we have the word like, washing the dishes, doing the laundry, and cooking. There are many ways to avoid being affected by the virus, such as following the safety instructions, keeping personal hygiene, and not going outside. I am bored. I wish I could do something fun like playing outside. Note: only for example and for instance can be used at the start of a new sentence. So, for example and for instance are used at the beginning of the sentence, while like and such as can't be used at the beginning of the sentence. So that's all for the linking words. Next, we are going to take the gerunds and the infinitives. So now we are going to talk about the gerunds and the infinitives. So to answer questions regarding the gerunds and the infinitives, we need to know a few things. The first is the usage of each of them. When do we use gerunds and when do we use infinitive? You need to memorize and understand the usage of each of them. The second is the form that they come in. It's easy to differentiate between the gerunds and the infinitives in the form, because the gerunds come as a, it looks similar to the verb ing, but the difference is gerunds doesn't have a be verb before the similar looking to the verb ing thing, and the infinitives come as 2 plus verb 1. So it's a huge difference in the look between them, but you need to memorize the usage in order to be able to use them. Okay, so the usage of the gerund, gerunds can be used at the subject or the object of a sentence, and they can be used after prepositions. So gerunds sometimes can be put as the subject of the sentence. For example, when we say playing football is fun. So playing football here, playing is a gerund because it is the subject of the sentence. And we can put the gerund as an object for the sentence. Uh, for example, we can say, I love playing football. Okay, so playing here came as the object of the sentence. After prepositions, we need to memorize the prepositions in order to put gerunds after them. Sometimes gerunds come after prepositions and after the verb go to describe activity. For example, when we say I want to go uh, hiking, okay, to describe activities, but sometimes after the verb go can come with the 2 plus verb 1, which is infinitive. So you need to understand the difference in meaning between using gerunds in this situation and using the infinitives. And we can use the gerunds after certain verbs and phrases, which are avoid, be used to, can't help, consider, etc. We have many other words in the book, so you need to memorize these words in order to put gerunds after them. Whenever you see them, just put gerund after them. You cannot put an infinitive after these words. So here we have a note says we need to understand that the gerund is not a verb. Okay, so the gerund is not a verb. Even though it looks so close to the verb ing, it is not a verb. To differentiate between the gerund and the continuous verb, which is the verb ing, we need to remember that the continuous has a be verb before it, which is which means is, am, are. I am playing football. He is playing football. They are playing football. We are going outside, while the gerund doesn't have any be verb before it. Okay, so this is the biggest difference between a gerund and a continuous verb. Other than that, they both look similar to each other, but the gerund can't be counted as a verb. So next here we have example. Jumping all over the place is fun. Okay, jumping here is a gerund. It came as a subject of the sentence. Jumping all over the place is fun. Okay, so jumping came as the subject of a sentence and it is a gerund. They are jumping all over the place. Here, jumping is a verb ing, and the reason is that we have a be verb before it. They are jumping all over the place. That's how we differentiate between a gerund and the continuous verb. In the next sentences, we see examples for a gerund. The first one says, writing an essay is important for your study. Writing an essay. Writing here is a gerund. Okay, and watching TV is a sedentary activity. Watching here is a gerund as well. So, in conclusion, gerunds come as the subject or the object of a sentence. Gerunds come as the subject or an object of a sentence. Gerunds come after prepositions. Gerunds come after the verb go. Why? To describe activities. I will go hiking. Okay, so this is the description of the activity that I am going to do, hiking. Gerunds after certain verbs and phrases mentioned in the book. Here we say gerunds come after certain verbs and phrases mentioned in the book. So you need to memorize all the sentences and the phrases and the verbs that comes before the gerund in order to put gerunds after you see them. Gerunds don't have any be verb before them. Okay, so there's no be verb before the gerunds. And that's how we differentiate between a gerund and the verb ing, or the continuous verb. So next we are going to talk about the infinitives. So what is the usage of the infinitive? As we said before, the infinitives come as 2 plus verb 1. This is the form of the infinitives. So they come after certain verbs and phrases like afford, like allow, sorry, and make an effort, and etc. So these verbs and phrases and others uh, come before the infinitive verbs. After certain adjectives like afraid, angry, anxious, glad, etc. After two, enough plus adjective. So after these situations, we put an infinitive. And you can find the words and the phrases and the adjectives that come before the infinitives in your student's book in the blue box. So note, the infinitive verb comes as 2 plus verb 1. Okay, so here we have examples. I love to eat healthy food. Why did we use an infinitive? Because of the adjective love. And I can't afford to buy the new phone. We used infinitive because of the word afford. And next we are saying, I am really glad to see you again. And we use the infinitive because of the word glad. All the underlined words above are infinitive. We simply knew because it came as a 2 plus verb 1. This is the form for the infinitive. Notice the words that come before the infinitive. They are the same words that are mentioned in the usage. The same type of words that are mentioned in the usage. So it's important to memorize these words. In conclusion, to be able to understand the gerunds and the infinitives and answer questions related to them, all you need to do is to understand the shape they come in. Gerunds look like verb 1 plus ing, while infinitives look like 2 plus verb 1. Understand and memorize the usage for each of them. You always need to understand the usage for anything new to you in order to use it. Memorize the words and phrases and verbs that come before each of them. You need to memorize the words, phrases, and verbs that come before each of the gerund and the infinitive. So whenever you see these words or phrases, you just simply put a gerund and infinitive without even thinking about it. So that's all for today's lesson. Hope you all understood it well. Please study hard for your exam and good luck.